Hey guys, my daughter's asleep, which is great. Okay, cool. So they're giving me some time to kind of knock this out. Welcome to another episode with Mixing with Rod. We are mixing the Nothing Else Matters. When I'm with my father, Lynn Betty, out on January 31st on all digital platforms. Hard copies, you have to get that in person, or maybe you can request those. I'm not sure. But anyway, kind of walking you through the mixing process as I go through it, as I do it. And hopefully you guys can learn from it and see how I do what I do and why I do it. So, mixing with Rod. Today we are going to approach now adding to the immersive experience. And one thing that I use to add to that experience are, of course, effects. So reverbs, delays, so on and so forth. Yeah, and effects, whatever the effects are. So today right now I'm going to talk about how the drums contribute to that immersive effect. Essentially, it's not the whole kit. At the end of the session, there will be a part where I kind of have all the instruments routed into an effect to contribute to the width and to the sound of the space. But that'll be at the end of the session. But right now, it's more so just the snare and the toms from the drum kit that add to that immersive experience. Now, my point of reference is going to be what's happening in the percussion. So, what's happening in the percussion right around here? There's a build, there's like a crazy drive that's going on, and it's with these big drums, right? So, if you listen to the big drums, it's a very big room. It's epic. It's dynamic. It's got space. It's got depth to it. So that's a point of reference for me in terms of kind of where I want my drums to sit as well. So first and foremost, I think the first thing to look at is going to be my snare. So let's dive into the snare. Okay, let's say about right here, right? All right. So first thing I want you guys to look at is I am looking at what I'm using for imaging to add depth and space. So I'm using an Abbey Road chamber to just use it to widen the snare, to make it just a little wider and add some depth to it. And what I used was a preset. It's the medium snare ambient preset that you'll find somewhere in here. If you have the plugin, then you can search for it. But it's going to help in adding depth to that snare. Right now, the snare sits right here, but I kind of need to immerse you in it. So I need to make it wider. So let's do that. So here we go. Yeah. What, negative 10.2? So I'm putting you in the space with it. In front of you, you inside of it. Yeah. All right. Cool. And then I use the imaging. That's one imaging plugin, again, the imager. Because the reason why I'm using this is because, remember, I closed off the entire kit to 0.9, right? But I don't like my effect, first off, to sit with the drum. I usually like it to sit outside the drum set. So kind of like, for example, if I'm sitting in a venue and how I would want my drums to not just be here, but I kind of I want that spread. The other thing is I want to make that verb or that room sound bigger than what it actually is. So here's the S1 and how it widens it. So I don't know if you guys. How about I do this? I just loop this section. All right. So it kind of takes the space and puts it like back here. Yeah. So now it's like you walked further and deeper into the room, right? Cool beans. And I do the same thing for the I do the same thing for this snare as well. One thing I think I should point out is I do notice that there was a little bit of cancellation happening there. So what I want to do is flip that phase. There you go. So I just flipped the phase because that signal was canceling out the sample. Cool. What's the other thing? Now that I've kind of put it in its space, now that I've kind of put the snare in its space, the next thing that I want to look at this point is trying to match that big drum. So I have a plugin that I use, the Pure Plate, which is going to give me that depth that the big drum gave me, right? So it's got that, it's wide, right? This one, actually I really want to match this one. So that plate is gonna give me that feeling, right? So let's turn it on. Yeah. Yep. And I'm gonna widen it just as much. All right. So let me bring. In fact, let me bring the whole percussion. Guys, guess who's calling me? Lynn Betty. Betty, I'm working. All right, guys. Cool. Yep. So, cool. I might want to close that space just a little. Yeah. Cool. So the next thing is putting those toms in a space too. I think, and you know what I did to one tom, I kind of did it to all. So I'm going to just show you putting those toms in a space, which is a very, 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 very important. So I did another chamber. And it's mellow round toms preset, and it's a mic exiter preset, which is actually really dope. Mellow round toms, and I think I just did like a boosted on the low cut. But that was it, and it just worked out really well for me. So let's see what that sounds like. All right, cool. So without it, with it. Without it. Cool. So now let's bring it all in. So it gave a really fat image. It gave like a really wide, like I'm sitting inside. I'm the drummer. Like I'm on the stage with everybody. Cool. So the power of effects. They work out very well. Let's see what it is. So yeah, that's good. Cool beans. All right. So that's it in the way of effects. Next episode is definitely going to be guitars, mixing guitars. So hopefully, you guys will get a different perspective once we bring the guitars in, and then the method to my madness will begin to make sense. All right, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Please share. Don't forget, share. My philosophy is just give everything away. Just share everything. All right. So how about we do that? Let's just share. Let's just give everything away and have a good time doing it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I will make sure. Feel free to reach out, and I will make sure to respond at the questions. I have one-on-one sessions, 2 private sessions, where you can just kind of pick my brain if you need to, and I'm willing and whatever to just share all the information that I have. Cool. And it's a lot of information, so, enjoy. Cool beans. Have a great time. See you guys in the next episode.